Hi Leo, if you want to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. We're going to scry your ink blot made in your name and essence. We'll add on tarot and oracle, and as well we've got the spirit box here kicking for any audio additions that may inspire or irritate. As always, receive or release freely. Leo, we've also got your paranormal poker hand here ready to go. So when you're ready, I will take a second, if you'd like to join me, to close the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Let's scry the aura of Leos. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to give her a go scrying through here, but as you know, I'm probably going to switch it. Okay, so I feel as though when I'm looking at this, I'm working with my shadow and my spectrum very clearly. But my eyes seem to be seeing not red, but black because it's transmuting it right now. Like I'm maybe sensing things a little darker. I'm going to actually just give this a quick... Oh, let's try not to destroy everything here. Sorry, I'm going to dig in. Okay, so I'm seeing things darker, like in the void. I'm cleaning something. I'm cleaning up things that are, it's like I can see shadows in my peripheral. So maybe that's something some of the Leos can identify with. Seeing shadows. I'm not sure how. Yeah, you're definitely seeing them. But it's like by acknowledging them, I'm transmuting them. But I don't turn to look at them. You know, there might that be indication like I want to turn and look. I don't. It's like, I see you. I see you. And then off to the side, I'm seeing large carousel horses.
Play.
Yeah, carousel horses. A lot of pink and indigos and fuchsias are here. And they are surrounding me. So it's like, because I can see these shadows, and I'm not necessarily saying they're bad either. They're just shadows, right? And so there's something with the lighting. Now, whether it's actual lighting or symbolic lighting of... It's revealing more of its contrast about someone, something. Of course, those channels are yours. And Leos, as always, thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. So this is what it feels like. I've got these carousel horses off to the side that are protecting me as I'm kind of playing around with some sort of perception. So maybe there's a feeling of, oh, I might want a new job, or what's going on with this friendship, partnership, relationship, resonance, even within oneself. I could be looking in a mirror. And I don't know if the lighting allows it to come through, but there's this, it's, you know, very dark, but I'm hearing I wear my sunglasses at night because maybe when it's shiny, it's too shiny. When I'm seeing the reflection of myself, it's a little too shiny right now because of this work that's been going on. Because now I'm seeing like not so much rainbow bright, but kind of rainbow bright. But imagine rainbow bright was wearing fuzzy leg warmers. Yeah, we'll get to your paranormal poker hand in a minute. Almost like a cotton candy. How sweet. Cancer's coming through. How sweet it was. How sweet it is to be loved by you. So maybe their shadow scroll will also, or their bonus, will prove to be useful for you as well. If there's something with a Cancer, or maybe this is just in regards to self-love, self-care, nurturing the self, protecting the self, different aspects of myself. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, so now I'm also seeing these large beings off to the side with legs. What are these? These feel like
watching.
Yeah, they feel like subconscious creatures. 10 of Wands is coming through. Burdens that I might be carrying. And now I'm seeing the horses that have now moved to stick horses. Also, some Leos, you might be dealing with heartburn. I don't know if that's going on. Those stick horses, when you're a kid, you know, it's just a stick with a horse head. And I'm trompling around. Should I stay or should I go now? 8 of Wands. Okay, lots of 8s. Give me one moment. I'm going to bring in a few more things. But see up here, it's like as I see up there, they're ox. Yep, they're
What is
oxes.
your name?
And my name is Stephanie. What is your name? And they are conversing about something because it's like the strengths are equal. My ability to see the good and the good and the bad, the shadow or the shine are equal. Okay. They're very tall. Okay. Long legs. I don't know if this is somebody in spirit that you recognize that has long legs. Or you yourself have long legs, but I'm just going to wander into strides, the strides that I want to take, the strides where I want to go. And it's like I'm harnessing. I feel as though I'm harnessing something with my perception. You know, if, okay, so it's about like transmuting perception to perspective. I can perceive something, but just because somebody doesn't, or somebody perceives something doesn't necessarily mean it's
I'm not sure how.
integrated, acknowledged, or the wisdom is taken in, right? So it's like this perception, and then imagine like spiraling out these spirals of creation in my eyesight. This is how it's feeling, Leos. And it's like that comfort zone of seeing here, and then it wanders out, 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 and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now I can see, if not have been for a while, what shadows might, whatever that may symbolically mean. It could be actual shadows, or it could be things from the past, recent past, coming forward that are asking to be, I'm going to say healed, but it's not because they're broken, but they want to be acknowledged to move forward with you. These aspects, these hurts, these sorrows, these griefs, these tears, whatever they may be. The 10 of Wands coming forward. The Ox are also deciding that, because I want to slide them right in there. Like, see how it, there we go. And then all the yellow is up here. The ox might mean something to someone, some sort of burdens that I'm carrying. I feel like I've climbed up something and now I've had to climb back down.
Guilt.
Absolutely, it could be guilt. Guilt about something. Again, it's coming forward. Scorpio energy is also coming forward because it's asking to be acknowledged for its value, not necessarily just the emotion that could be felt, or the scarring and the jarring that is memorialistically held in some sort of multiverse membrane. It wants to come forward with you, and it wants to transmute, and that's what it's making me feel like. So there's some sort of, with the Eight of Pentacles, like, see how it's like a rearranging of things. And like, if I could take this ink blot and put it into this holographic 3D thing, and I could like Star Trek it and zoom in and zoom out right here in the air. But this is what I feel like you're doing in your mind. That's kind of like in a Rubik's Cube right now. But I'm getting big hippie vibes. And this could be one of those things with the Two of Wands, going from like the carousel horse to the stick horse off here to the side, because they actually see white, what will serve the purity, what is of an inspiration, what lights me up. And it's almost like I feel like I have two directions I can go in. I can go in, pursue things, but I feel like I'm releasing maybe a certain kind of protection or safety and stability. And then the other way, whether it's a pursuant and the protection, or I can stay where I'm protected and pursue something else. Pursue, protected, pursue. You know what I'm saying? It's in one of those kind of like seemingly paradoxes. But even like one could be more playful, but I might play for a little while before I decide. I'm going to play for a while before I decide. I really enjoy the oxes because they're very much of light. They're very much of light. Then I also have here Eight of Wands and Queen of Swords coming through to support you. You're just living in a different density, love. Yeah, so between the two, I'm going to decide. I'm going to decide which. It's like one thing's more mechanical and one thing's more manual. Queen of Swords, cleaning up the mind, something to the Six of Cups. Okay, and even see how in these picture frames, there's like a light and a dark, or inner child, adult awareness. There's another one. There is another one to consider, but a little bit of playing, a little bit of rearranging. Somebody also in the spirit realm, if you've feel like you have some activity around you that's trying to get your attention, feel like your pictures might be tilted a little bit, like it can be tough to keep them straight. And it's probably somebody from heaven just tilting. It's like being in your office or stepping into a room and someone's just like moved your stapler, but everything else is the same, or they've moved everything else but the stapler is still the same, so things are a little off. And I'm just seeing like these crooked pictures. So that's fun. That's fun. Maybe speak when you see or sense those things instead of getting frustrated, because somebody from spirit could be playing with you. Yeah. Okay. All right, Leo, we're going to continue on here. I'm going to kind of wander down here as well. Keep an eye out down below, because I'm going to put a link for your secret scry with your shadow ink blot. Like, share, and subscribe, of course, if you've made it all the way through. And we're only going to scry from this perspective. Later on, I'll flip it for perspective possibilities. Thank you. Okay, so we have here Old Woman and Anchor. Did that come through? I can't tell with the lighting. Peacock and the Eye. Of course, please see, sense, and feel for yourself versus following my yammerings. And then the Heart. Okay, so this could be a woman in spirit.
Why?
That is, like, see all that fuchsia that you might be catching out of your peripheral and tilting your pictures. Some sort of protection again is coming through. You know what else, Leos? I don't know if there's a sensation that there could be some eyes on you. Now, this could be in, when I say the spirit world,
Deep.
Those passed on, but then there's also spirits incarnate that are paying attention to you. I'm going to be honest with you. It's because they see you as being very wealthy and beautiful, and your aura just holds that strength. We even have here stability and security, and we spoke of that in the protection and the pursuing. It's like playing with the alchemy of something in the playground before you decide one thing. And I also want to note that when I say that, I immediately heard you'll be able to, kind of like the Ten of Wands, but not the Ten of Wands. You're going to be able to make that decision, see what's there, and then come back down. I say down, but I don't want it to feel like a retraction. It's going to come up again. The opportunity, because really it's just start with one and it'll most likely lead you to another one, to the other one that you thought maybe you think you're going to miss out on, but it'll be there in some other way, shape, or form.
Play.
Because it is about just playing. Because your energy, your aura is wealthy in its beauty, in its stable. It's like your energy, your aura stabilizes others just inherently, but sometimes that can be a burden and very draining on the Leo collective. So some sort of rearranging is going on, and these oxes take care of that. Like they're doing, I'm seeing like old farm work. I think somebody's mother has passed, and I feel as though I'm very, very sad still about it. I don't know if this happened a little while ago or many moons ago, but nonetheless, I feel as though there's a female anyway in spirit that...
Daughter.
Okay, if it's the mother is in spirit and has a daughter, I feel like she's sending you love and she doesn't want you to be sad. Or maybe your perception is that she was sad when she passed, if she passed in a sad way. She tries to add to your stability and security, but you might see her in like a shadow. The Clover. Okay, so whether or not this is your mother or you understand that there's a female spirit around you, it's like luck, pregnancy, wealth, especially if you've just had a baby. Fish, something with the curse as well. What's that? The crossroads. Okay, because you might be at a crossroads in life, or some Leos could be sensing that they're at a crossroad, and it's like, ooh, a lot of twos coming through as well. And you might feel cursed with choice. Cursed, yeah. The choices the Leos have. Something about a calendar year. The ring. Somebody, congratulations if you're getting engaged or married, or some sort of commitment is coming through. Even with the fish and the clover, I feel as though there's just lots of luck around you. But it's weird because then I kind of tap in more, but I kind of feel a little haunted, which I can understand, you know, the haunted human. But I feel as though if there is a strong sense of grief or carrying burdens in all of this, like it feels very, very heavy. And I might have even like shackled my mouth for a little bit, where I'm going to say, like, I hear a harshness of this guilt. Guilt keeps coming up about it, is I kind of like shackled my mouth while I just won't speak of it. And I don't know. Oh, hi, bitch and ba. I don't know that's it's just created hurt in a different way. I got a fly buzzing around in here. Apologies. And then I come down to like this fuzzy sweater. And when I see this fuzzy sweater, it's a very specific fuzz. I think it was in the 90s these sweaters were popular. And maybe they're popular now, I don't know. But it's like it's this weird material that's fuzzy.
Listen to me.
But it's very stretchy. So like the sweater could be like this big, but then, or the shirt, but it could, you know, fit an adult. So it looks like it's for a child, but it can also fit an adult. So in this weird one size fits all. But I'm seeing it like rainbow colors of wearing colors that inspire me.
Trash.
Okay. Trash. And maybe you've thrown something out that you regret. Oh, maybe you threw something out that was this female's or was your mother's, and you feel very guilty about that because it was outdated, or maybe it was something from your childhood and you're like, okay, but I feel like it's this one very specific thing. And again, I feel like the energy, because the memory is still embedded in the multiverse of things, it's just asking to be brought forward, even from a memory standpoint, because it's still existing. And it still exists in the tangible, just not around you. So you're either going to look for it to call it back, to maybe buy something similar but infuse it, or utilize something you already have. And if there's somebody of your mother's or something of your mother's, or this female in spirit, and I feel like when you wear it, you feel like rainbow bright because that's how she felt about you. And even if that didn't necessarily be expressed in the incarnation that was had in the relationship, I feel like the message is she wants you to know that's how she views you now. There's an understanding that's being had through the spectrum of the rainbow. So whatever the rainbow may mean to you, or wandering out to the different elements, because there's also lots of 10s coming through. And we've already had the 10 of Wands come through. Oh my goodness.
Not all of us.
And we have the 10 of Wands here as well. So there are 4 10s. Does somebody play poker? I feel like that's a big deal. And 10 might mean something to someone. Maybe when you were 10 years old, maybe your mother or this prominent female passed 10 months ago, 10 years ago, you get the gist. But it's been like this decade, like when I was 10, when I was 20, when I was 30, when I was 40. And that's how it's making me feel. It doesn't have to be in those decades, but it feels like decades. And the wonderful thing here is and when I come about like this 8 of Pentacles, like this a Rubik's Cube of your love and your strength, I'm getting this permission from Spirit to be able to rearrange them any way I want. And to be like, okay, done, 10 of Cups now, 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords, and the 10 of Wands I've completed, and they're going to overlay. If these are the memories that are stepping forward, or these are the memories that are stepping forward, and it's like, oh, I lost that sweater, I gave it away, I threw it away, and then it brings about this feeling. And then I might have other memories that pop up that make me feel this, and now I'm infusing, overlaying them with this memory. Do you see what I'm saying? That's how it's making me feel. Okay, Leos, is there anything else standing out? I have these last 3 cards here, the High Priestess, Knight of Swords, and the 2 of Pentacles. You've also had, what was it before? The 2 of something or other. The 2 of the Clover, 22, the Crossroads. I swear there was a 2 of something. 2 of Wands. Lots of 2s and lots of 10s. Oh yes, something swiftly is working out in the Leo aura.
Come here.
Like even the rainbow of this, I don't know, it's some sort of bird head. It's like down in there, like this rainbow bright, and it's like bringing me into 10 of Cups. It's like, it's in your head, zombie. Okay, so is that the cranberries? And it's bringing me back into the overlaying of the 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords, and the zombies of that. Maybe that has been those shadow things stepping forward because they want to be, and they are being brought into the rainbow, the spectrum. The spectrum, I think, is the most important thing in this calendar year. Closing out that maybe this is something you've been doing, working through grief this entire year, decade. I'm also seeing patty cake baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Something about that confetti cake when I was a kid anyway, the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is coming in over here. Another 2. The Priestess is another 2. 2s and 10s.
Neil.
2s and 10s. I feel as though like I am making binoculars with my hands. Because in one hand, it's helping me see something very, very specific. And on the other hand, it's also closing me off to a lot of things. It's like, oh, I don't want to look. But I do want to look. And maybe it's just as these things come through, because I want to acknowledge there's a significant transmutation, for lack of a better term, of fears. Because I see a vanishing bunny.
Prison.
That might have imprisoned you at some point in time and moving forward. I'm going to get ready to close out here for the Leo Collective. Thank you so much. Diving for light, if I'm reading that correctly. Ooh. Visions of life beyond death. I feel like that's that mother or elder female stepping forward. It can be a grandmother, guardian, spirit guide. I feel like you know who it is. And as you are diving for light, you're not, it's like, some might see it, the seahorse is stepping forward as well. The seahorse, which is those carousel horses off to the side with the long legs, and that's why, because they're also melting. They're melting into the waters, this rainbow water. There's another owl, so owls are also very specific.
Angel.
Maybe they're a spirit animal. Heaven sent is on the bottom. I'm listening to creation. I'm listening to all these little signs and synchronicities. Okay, so let's see if I can share this with the lighting. So it's like those stick horses, those carousel horses are melting. The power that they had over me, the power that I utilized them for whatever point of perception that held me in a particular place that served me. But I have visions of life that I am going to have beyond what I was, but I'm going to bring them with me. But I'm going to, like peacock feathers, I'm going to place them like feathers in my cap. Not in a pride way, but in a proud way, because somebody's very proud of you and just wants you to hold that yourself if you don't feel it already. Because even down here in these waters where like things are melting and it's like you're going to be creating a new crayon color, it feels so beautiful. Like the peacock feathers, like everyone's the same, but they're not the same. It's not so much a snowflake thing. It's just it's like the horse that was, on the carousel that was decorated so beautifully, and I played in for a while, but it kept me just going in circles. And then I went to the horse on a stick where I could boots to the mud, tromp around, and I was in control. And now it's like those are melting and I'm going into the water like a seahorse. And this is where I'm feeling and I'm listening for my truth, because even the peacock is working with the crow. So there's this subconscious, because there's sorry, I know I'm blubbering on for so long, but Leo, I feel very passionate about this. There's all this subcon shadow work being done, and I'm not trying to say that and being cheesy, like, oh, we're doing our shadow work. No, you're just doing it. It's like, it's embedded in day-to-day life. You're seeing the signs, you're seeing the symbols, you're seeing the things as you get triggered and you feel things. And it's like having divining rods as you're going through your life, going through your day, and you are noticing these things and you're deciding as they step forward, am I going to carry that the way it is, or am I going to carry it, bring it forward and say, hey,
Judith,
hey, I love you and I love that version of you, or I have regrets of that version of myself, but I would like to bring you forward, but we're all going to have to change. Fourth house roots and Aries I am. This is the holistic power of this. I'm not even seeing red. I feel like anger is being dispersed. It's 13. It's being integrated inch by inch, step by step, breath by breath. And if I feel anger coming on in my grief, if I feel anger coming on in my resentments, if I feel any sort of anger, I'm going to turn it into a passion. I'm going to turn it and ignite it into a passion, because I'm realizing it just wants to be acknowledged. That feeling wants to be acknowledged, not necessarily in a state of lack, though my perception may, oh, I'm angry at this because I didn't get this, it's not going my way. Okay, I see that from my perception, and now I'm going to widen and see the whole perspective, because it's like something's being generated and it needs the air to breathe and glow. And then suddenly it's like, oh, now I can grow into the passion versus this anger. Does that make sense? There's also something about the bloodline. Somebody absolutely in spirit is from your bloodline. I do feel like it's female mother figure. There's also something of this, how do I say? When people are like Zamboniing ice rinks, they're also redoing the lines on the baseball field. And I also see somebody vacuuming. Yep, they're vacuuming. Like there's an oil spill somewhere. Perhaps this oil spill is of grief. But nonetheless, sorry, the gentleman just came up there. I was wondering who was off to my side. Something's being cleaned up, and I feel like you are doing this, and you have help from spirit. I hope this serves, Leo. I know I blabbered on for a long time, but it truly was passionate. I hope you feel this, and if you're going through this, like realize like the abundance of coloring and colors available to you, to those in spirit that are helping you transmute and create this new crayon color, and not because any of the old broken crayons weren't usable. You're seeing opportunities, and it seems to be very much so starting with the self of things that I've experienced, things that I've gone through, and I know I'm being watched, and I know I'm being loved, and as I see shadows pop up, I'm acknowledging them. All right. So you will truly turn haunted, healed, holistic. All right. I will let you go. I'll put the links below if you want to donate, like, share, subscribe, and all that kind of good stuff. And we will wander into your shadow scroll link also below. All right. Till next time. Thanks, Leo.